It is something you hope you never have to do, but if you have to find treatment for addiction for yourself or for a loved one, you want it to be trustworthy, immediate, and right where you are. FindLocalTreatment.com launched about 3 months ago and is doing just that. I spoke with a recovered heroin addict about why that's so important. So point out your oldest.
So this is my oldest.
Okay.
Her name is Chloe.
Amy Parker is more than happy to share her points of pride, especially after losing almost everything. About 6 years ago, she was at a breaking point. She knew she needed to get help for her heroin addiction.
Had I not gotten the treatment within the hour that I entered into the facility, my next step was going to be finding heroin.
You talked about being willing to commit a crime to get your next fix, being open to suicide. It was that desperate?
Absolutely. It's that desperate.
Amy says striking while the iron is hot when it comes to getting treatment is so important. One reason, as a peer recovery supporter now, she has sent people to FindLocalTreatment.com. It connects you to accredited addiction treatment near you, and it can tell you who has the capacity to care. Brightview is one of the partners offering services.
Part of our technology team actually interacts with the treatment platform to ensure that that platform is up to date at all times as to what we have available for treatment when patients are ready.
The goal is simple. Do not let the process of finding help stand in the way of recovery.
Don't give up. Recovery is possible. There are so many options out there.
In the 3 months since its launch, FindLocalTreatment.com has had thousands of hits. The most common addiction demands are for heroin, alcohol, and prescription opioids. The largest age group searching for help, 26 to 35-year-olds. Joining me now is Find Local Treatment co-founder Raj Gupta and Dr. Nav Kang of Mercy Health Behavioral Health Services. Why was Mercy one of the earliest partners in this process?
Well, thanks for having us, Kristen.
Sure.
This is a great story. So last year, Mercy Health created the Mercy Health Addiction Treatment Collaborative, working with over a dozen other agencies in Cincinnati. So together we created treatment on demand, but we had to find a way to get it out into the community so people understood that treatment is available now. When that motivation strikes and people want to get into care and start entering recovery, we have to be able to respond immediately. So FindLocalTreatment.com is our gateway to access that treatment on demand network.
It takes the frustration out of the equation, and that's what I think is beautiful about it. Anybody who knows what it's like to search for any kind of rehabilitation knows that they run into brick walls sometimes. Why did you come up with this platform?
Yeah, you know, when we talked to hundreds of families across the state, the thing that we kept hearing over and over again was that it took families months and months and months to find a treatment provider. And one of the biggest barriers to connecting people to care is actually finding treatment itself. So there are a lot of guides out there that have just information about providers, but unless you know which providers can actually accept you based on your insurance and your age and the types of substances that you use and who's accepting patients right now, we're never going to be able to connect patients quickly. You know, the analogy that we like to use all the time is, you know, imagine if someone had a heart attack and giving that person a list of 10 phone numbers. And requiring them to call each of the phone numbers and to see which hospital could take you.
They wouldn't survive.
You wouldn't survive. And that's exactly how we're treating you know, this chronic brain disease.
Yeah. A lot of the times people have to go out of state for treatment. What's the danger in that? What's the danger of not staying local?
So that's one of the myths that we're trying to dispel, that people have to go out of state. If we understand addiction as a chronic illness, which means it's lifelong, you're going to be dealing with it for a long time, then it doesn't really make sense to go out of state to start your treatment, because then you still are confronted with the challenge of continuing your treatment when you come home. And at the end of the day, if good treatment is available to start and continue locally, why not just stay local the whole time and avoid all the travel and the other expense of having to go out of state?
Okay, so Raj, I have a friend who calls me and says, hey, I heard about this FindLocalTreatment.com, but I'm in Cleveland. Will this be growing?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, you know, our first responsibility, first and foremost, is to make sure that this remains accurate, that this remains up to date here locally in Cincinnati first. But now that we've done that, and we're going to continue building and making sure that that stays a reality, we're now looking to expand across the state in other communities that really need it.
All right, Dr. Kang of Mercy Health and Raj Gupta of FindLocalTreatment.com. Thank you for being here and talking about this very important platform that can really make a difference in families' lives.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You bet.